Hello everybody, coming at you with all my Smite. How you guys doing today? Today we're going to be throwing some new tires on my BMW F800GS. Let's take a look at them. So check out this tire. This is a hunky piece of rubber, that is for sure. It's the Tusk Dual Sport Adventure tire right there. 130/90/17 on my bike currently. As you can see, we have a 150/70/17, so it's going to be 20 short and it's going to be a little bit taller. So this is the rear tire. It's got some crazy knobs on it. Now these tires I have on it are the Shinko 805s. I actually like the tire, but I really like off-road aggressiveness, and these are not cutting it for me. These are a great dual sport tire, but I want something that's a DOT knobby. That's really all I want. So that's what we're going for. These aren't even wore all the way down at all. Like, they're not even flatted off yet. So they're still a good tire. This is what we got going on up front. This is the 90/90/21. Look at the knobs on that sucker. This is the front of the 805. Once again, links in the description. A good tire, like I said, I don't have much miles on these at all. They're not even really scalloping at all. There's still a lot of life left in them. I just want something different. When you're riding in mud and stuff like that, these don't bite as much as something like this was. I came off a D606s, went to the 805s, and I missed the traction in the mud. And as you can see, I ride mud. So we're gonna get these changed. All right, so we're gonna deep bead this sucker. I already took my valve stem off and removed that nut. So we're gonna throw this up on there. I put a rag over there so it doesn't scratch my rim, even though my rim is already scratched. But I'm just gonna get this old Papa-rooney. All right, now we're gonna flip it over and do the other side. All right, now we're ready to remove the tire. All right, so we're just gonna snug this down here. Get that. This is a Mojo block, so I'm not scarring up my rim, and actually has a lip on it, so you're not, because these don't actually hold motorcycle rims. You need the Mojo blocks on there. Now, we don't have a rod that fits down through here because the other one is actually, there'd be no, this rod doesn't go through anything. Like the size, oh, I just dumped a bunch of crap down into my bearing. Lovely. This rod, obviously, is too big to go through there, and it doesn't go through any single tire, so you can't use it. So basically we put this down there. It doesn't hold anything, you just use it as leverage when we use the Mojo lever, which we'll show you. All right, so now we got some water and soap. We're gonna let down the bead. Make sure you got it good and wet.
Like you're doing hair.
I know. This is the Mojo lever. You got some plastic on there so it won't mar your rim. You got some leverage. You got this, which will stick in the tire and hook on that, and we can run it around without scratching the rim, and it's 100% easier than spooning it. So we got to work our way around the tire. So we're gonna stick this on this side because we're gonna flip it up and then use this and walk around the tire. I'm gonna stick this down in here. Now you gotta be careful not to grab your tube. So to get this in there, I needed a little bit of bite so I can just grab a hold and move the tire ever so slightly without grabbing my tube. Just so I can get this in there just like that. Once this is in there, you're gonna push up, see how the plastic rides the rim? Now we're gonna make sure, over here, we're gonna make sure that our bead is busted down in, because if it's in the flat, it gives us more room. So we're gonna take this and pull up just like that. You wanna pull all the way to that lip, and we're gonna flop it down. Now since I have my hub assembly right here, it's a little bit difficult because I can't get the perfect you know, flat angle. So we have to angle it up a little bit like that. And we're gonna run it around town. Just like so. And that's all you need for that, because it will just pull off the rest of the way, just like that. Now that we're at this point, we're gonna retrieve our tube. So I don't know why I left this on here, but I did. Probably so I didn't lose it. We're gonna take this, save that, push this through. We're gonna peel the tire back and harvest our tube. Just like so. Now this tube is, there we go. Now the neat part about the tube is once we're done with that, you can just take it and drop it right here. So it's out of the way. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push up on this and I'm going to spray around on the underside. Now much like the first time, but a little bit different. We're gonna take this, we're gonna angle it and just give it just like that. So it's in there. Pick up on the other side, then slowly pick up. You know, you can see we're hooking it in there just like the other side. There we go. Pull up, and now we bring it back around town. Just like that. Boom, successfully removed tire. Now we're gonna take this off. Boom, tire's done. All right, so these are the tires side by side. They look the same height actually, just a little, this one might be a little bit shorter. This one has a higher sidewall. This one's a little worn, but if you can see, I'm not sure, can you see the roundness? This is still very round. It's not flat. So they're both still round tires. This one is a little bit narrower. I'm not sure if you can see that. We'll probably be able to see it once it's on the bike, but we'll have to find out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stand this up, give her the hose down. Try not to spray the cameraman. Now this particular tire is non-directional. We did check. We could not find any direction on anywhere. And if you look at the tread, it's the same. So there's no direction. We're gonna stick our rod back down through the center. Now the same thing applies. We gotta bring this all the way around the tire. So we wanna start at the closest point to the metal beam right here. So what we're gonna do is shift the tire. So we're gonna hook that on right there. I'm gonna take the tire and put it on that shelf. Then over here, we're gonna push the tire underneath the rim. We're gonna push. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang this up on. All right. So what we're gonna do now is hang this tire up on the shelf of the Mojo lever, and we're gonna cock the tire off to the side and push it under the rim and hold it down right there, and we're gonna work this around town. Now every once in a while you can give it a little bit of that. It will stretch the bead out a little bit so we can get it over. And just like that, we got the tire mounted on. Now we still have to get the other side on, but we have to throw in our tube. All right, so this is a valve stem puller. It's your best friend. Makes the job a heck of a lot easier. This one has seen some miles. As you can see, it wants to crinkle up, so it's a little bit more difficult to use. These are only like 4 or 5 ducks. Holy crap.
Wait, ducks. What is going on around here?
So these things are only so these things are under $10. There's a link in the description if you want to pick one up. It supports the channel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna stick it in the hole. Then on the underside, if you can look down here, I'm taking my hand and sticking it up so I can feel the knob, push it through, and then we're gonna push, well, you might not be able to see it. So we're gonna push it through, and then we're gonna stick it and work our way so we can pull it out right here. So now we're gonna take our tube, lay it on top of the tire, admire it, and we're going to screw this into our tube. The valve stem has to be removed for this, and that's why it's all cobbled up like that, because of us doing this. So now we're gonna shove the tube into the tire. What we did is we threaded that through there. We got it aligned mostly, but this tire is a little bit narrower than I'm used to working with. So it's actually being hung up on the valve stem. So we're gonna seat the top bead and we'll still be able to move this around and we can just pull it through once we get this top seated. So we're gonna re-hose it down with our water bottle mixture. So just like with the first bead, you're doing the same thing. You're gonna take and lift this up. Now, sometimes this will take a little bit of force. Move your tube, make sure that's out of the way. We're gonna just lay this down. And my ring is caught. We're gonna lay this down right on top of the tire, just like that. The wheel. We're gonna tip it up just a little bit, and we're gonna angle this down. And we're gonna put some pressure over here so that this bead starts to lay underneath, and we're gonna pull this around town. We're just stretching it on there, and when we do that, lift that up. You're not pinching the tube because you're not going all the way against the rim. But what's this doing is it's forcing it down over the seating lip. So it gets into that narrower part, the looser part of the rim, so we don't have to fight it all the way around. And just like that, we got that on. So now that we have the tire on here, we can pull our valve stem out. And just like that, it pops right out. Now we're done. We have the wheel mounted on the rim, and we have our nut. We're gonna stick the nut on here, like so. Now I only do it about halfway until I get some air in the tire and this fully extends, and then we'll tighten that down. So I'm gonna stick my valve core in. So we take the tire off with the tire changer, and there we have it. Let's go throw some air in this bad boy. All right, so what I like to do is I like to spray it down again so that you're not on a dry surface trying to slip that bead. So we're gonna give her the old hose down. It didn't pop. Okay, so this tire, obviously, it slid right up on the bead with no problem. This is the first tire that I actually had just cooperate. So we're gonna put it up to 30 pounds of pressure because that's what I run on my bike. And there we have it. We have 30 pounds of pressure. The bead is fully seated on both sides. And that is one gnarly tire. So there we have it, my friends. The new Tusk Dual Sport Adventure tires on my beautiful GS. I'm super stoked to get the chance to try these guys out, but got them all mounted. And once again, there will be a link in the description. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, please share and or like. Also, don't forget to support the channel by using the link below. Have a nice day and God bless.